Quentin Owens stared at the growing pile of complaints on his desk. His once thriving fast food chain, 14 locations strong, was showing cracks. Reports of rude staff, toxic work environments, and unhappy customers had become routine. But one complaint hit differently. A pregnant cashier had allegedly been berated by her manager in front of a crowd of customers. Her name was Olivia Adams. There were no photos, no video, just a handwritten note from a regular customer who witnessed it. Quentin couldn't ignore this one. He had started this business from the ground up. 7 years ago, he knew every name on every paycheck. But lately, he had let managers and district leads take the reins while he focused on expansion. It was time to take a hard look at what his business had become. And he'd do it the only way he could be sure: undercover. The next morning, Quentin walked into one of his busiest stores dressed in jeans, sneakers, and an old hoodie. He had left the Rolex and tailored suits at home. Here, he was just Ben, the new trainee. The store manager, Derek, barely looked up when Quentin arrived. "We're short-staffed. You're on grill," he said, tossing him an apron. The staff looked tired. Not the usual mid-shift fatigue. This was different. Lifeless movements. Forced smiles. Quentin had seen burnout before. This was it. And then, Olivia stepped onto the floor. She looked to be in her early 20s, visibly pregnant and doing her best to stay on her feet. Despite her condition, she greeted every customer with a warmth that stood out in the otherwise cold environment. "Derek," she said quietly during a lull, "can I sit down for a bit?" "My back's really hurting." Quentin turned from the grill, curious to see how Derek would handle it. "You're not at home, Olivia," Derek snapped. "You're at work. If you wanted rest, you should have stayed home." "I've been standing for 5 hours. I just need 10 minutes, she replied, trying to stay calm. Derek scoffed. "And who's going to cover the register? The customers can wait while you take a nap." Olivia's face flushed, her hand resting on her belly as she looked away. A few customers were clearly listening. One mother in line shook her head in disbelief. "I'll cover for her," Quentin said, stepping up. Derek's eyes narrowed. "You're new. You don't make decisions here." "No, but I do care about people," Quentin replied. Derek walked up to him slowly. "You're one shift in and already telling me how to run my store?" Quentin pulled off his hat and looked Derek in the eye. "It's not your store, Derek. It's mine." The silence in the restaurant was instant. "What?" Derek blinked. "What did you just say?" "I'm Quentin Owens. I own this company, 14 stores, including this one." Everyone stopped what they were doing. Olivia looked stunned. A teenage employee dropped a tray of fries. Derek went pale. "I came here undercover to find out why this location's been drowning in complaints. Now I know." "You've got to be kidding me," Derek muttered. Quentin didn't smile. "Does it look like I'm joking?" Derek tried to stammer a response, but Quentin cut him off. "You and I are going to have a conversation in the back, right now." Inside the cramped office, Quentin leaned against the desk while Derek stood rigid by the filing cabinet. "You embarrassed a pregnant employee in front of customers. Do you have any idea how serious that is?" "She slows everything down," Derek said. "We're short-staffed every day. I can't give special treatment." "Accommodating pregnancy isn't special treatment. It's the law," Quentin said, voice sharp. "But beyond that, it's called being human." Derek sighed. "These kids don't respect me. I have to stay on them or nothing gets done." "Maybe they don't respect you because you treat them like machines," Quentin said. "They look drained, scared to speak up. That's not leadership. It's control. I'm doing the best I can. Number, you're doing what's easiest for you, not what's best for the team," Quentin said. "You've created a toxic environment, and it stops today." Derek looked away, jaw tight. "You're suspended effective immediately," Quentin continued. "Corporate will send someone to finish your shifts. Whether or not you keep your job will depend on what we uncover in the next few days." "And Olivia?" Derek asked, voice quieter now. "She'll get paid time off and support through the rest of her pregnancy," Quentin said. "She's the kind of person I want representing this company." Quentin stood up and opened the office door. "This business is built on people. If you can't treat them with dignity, you don't belong here." Derek left without a word.